Alright, ladies and gents, we're back with another one here. Today under the carport we have a 2015 Nissan Frontier with the 4.0. The customer complaints that the alternator is making a bunch of racket. Probably a bearing or a stator going bad inside of it. Here's a replacement here from O'Reilly's. Good old Ultima. Didn't come with the nut, which I'll take it off the alternator when I get a chance. Make a quick video on how to start this procedure. First things first, 10 mil for the negative post, unplug it. Patient's now asleep. This here plastic part says 4.0 V6 on it. Supposed to have two 10 mil bolts to hold it down, but they're not there. It also sits down on these little perches here. Little snug fit type of deal. Next thing is you want to take a 10 mil, loosen up this band clamp from the intake throttle body. Give it a nice little pull. This hose for the PCV. Yep, give me 1 second. There's the hose off there. The master flow connector needs to come unplugged and off the canister itself, the box. And these two little prongs just up and out the way. Next thing on the list is that tensioner right there. It has a cutout for a 3/8 ratchet. You stick the ratchet in there and pull it counterclockwise and release tension on the belt. Like so. Push down. I need both my hands, 1 second. Alright, got the serpentine belt loosened out the way. Alternator's right down there below that power steering pulley. The bottom one there. Next step, you want to support the vehicle on a jack stand. So we're going to lift up this side, put a jack stand right there for safety, and remove this wheel and that inner plastic panel to expose the side of the engine so I can get a hold of that alternator. Alright, now I got the vehicle lifted up, jack stand's in place. I'm going to leave that jack where it's at for an extra safety ordeal. I'm going to get this wheel off. 21 mil socket for the lugs. Of course I'm trying to record this and I missed the lug nut. Alright, with the wheel off, we can now move on to removing these plastic Phillips head fasteners. So far I see two here on this side. It's missing a couple of them. Supposed to be one there, one there, one back there in that corner, one up there, one up there. They're no longer in their place. They're plastic. Over time they break. And there's also a couple more here that hold the fairing in the front of the bumper. Let me get those off real quick. Alright, and the fender's out the way. There's 9 to 10 locations where that fender gets secured to the truck. Got one underneath the fender. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 up there where that hole's at. There's an alternator there. Let's get it out. Alright, so here's the alternator here on the front side. The top bolt, which is a long through bolt. It's a 14 mil. And that bottom bolt, you can kind of see it on the bottom right there. It's the one that holds it in place. It's a 12 mil. Now on the back side, you're able to get a hold of the the connector and the main power going into the alternator from the battery. That post on top for the hot wire is probably 13 mil. That little connector right there is just a little pushing connector. You push it in, you pull the wire connector out. Pretty simple. Alright, old one sitting on the table next to the new one. Doing a quick comparison. Making sure all the mounting locations are the same. The stud in and the connector is in the same orientation as the other. This little nub here holds the one of the wiring harnesses coming up from the bottom, going up the side of the truck. It's like a little securement there for that. So this bottom one here is a 12 mil. The top one up there is a 14. And that stud there for the hot wire is actually a 12 mil. I had to use a short socket for that to get in there. Not enough, too much of space. But it's out. Old unit. Take a listen. The bearing is toasted compared to the new one. So under verification that this is the same part, I'm gonna go ahead and put the new one back in. Alright, so a quick follow-up. This is the old unit here. This nutsert right here is what helps that through bolt tighten down when it's on the vehicle itself. The issue is that this is just a pressed fit. And on the new unit, this nutsert was a little bit this way, which made it a pain in the ass to get back onto its little foot there. So after a couple cussing and wrench throwing that happened, I got me a C-clamp in the socket and just smushed it in a little bit more to gain clearance to get up onto that little ridge that this is supposed to sit onto. Just keep in mind, if it's giving you a pain to get a line to get on center to put that bolt through, this is your little culprit right here. I already went ahead and installed the inner fender off camera. It's back in place. New alternators in spot. There she is in all her pretty glory. Won't be pretty for long. There's the back side of her right there. Let's I can focus in on it real quick. There's a connector. There's the main wire going in. Everything's secure. Everything's tight. I put that red rubber grommet back over top of the post. That way nothing touches it. Nothing arcs out. I also put the serpentine belt back in its place off camera. Kind of forgot to record this. I need to get me a good video camera and a tripod stand so I don't have to hold this phone. Good camera though, but it's a pain in the ass trying to do things one-handedly when you need both of them, and in some cases another pair of hands. Some vehicles will have identification on a diagram, a belt diagram of how this belt goes back on if you forget. There's also Google, and save some time, I'll put a little picture on there that I took off of Google to do this. But let's just say if you can't find one, these serpentine belts are pretty simple. Rib side of the belt goes with the rib pulleys. Smooth side of the belt goes with the smooth pulleys. Put this back on there. At this point, I'm gonna go ahead and put this wheel back on. Get her tightened down. Then the air intake housing and the snorkel and the plastic pieces that go on top. I'll get back with you. Alright, snorkel's back in place. 8mm tightens it down. Battery's back plugged in, tightened down. 8mm tightens that. You got these two 10mm that tighten down the main snorkel. Clips are back in place. Two switches, master airflow switches plugged back in, and the PVC valve is plugged back in as well. Give it the first fire up. Here we are. Fire in the hole. No more battery light. Good to go. One more final inspection. Everything's back on. Engine's running nice and smooth. Belts on. No noises. Everything's spinning like it should. Running like it should.